So we're just going to start off by allowing the back body to sink completely into the mat below you. Allow the forehead to relax down. Allow the jaw to part. The tongue to rest at the base of the mouth. And allow yourself to visualize your body lying exactly as it is. Visualize seeing your body as if you're watching it from across the room. And visualize a light bathing and surrounding your body. This light is your intention for today's practice. It could be compassion, unconditional love. It could be the intention of ahimsa. Visualize this light drawing in through your nose as you draw in breath and flooding all the way down to the base of your toes, up through the feet, through the ankles, through the base of the calves and the top of the calves, through the knees, the thighs, the pelvis and the buttocks. Visualize this light filling and flooding through the base of your tummy, the top of your tummy, the chest, the shoulders, overflowing down the arms, the tops of the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, flooding into the fingertips, overflowing out the end of the fingertips. Envision this light flooding up through the shoulders, through the base of the neck, the top of the neck and the jaw, the cheeks, the forehead, and the top of the head. Feel the heartbeat through your whole body and envision that this heartbeat is a vibrating and radiating light, illuminating the space around you. Throughout today's practice, when tension arises, whether that be external or internal, and whether you notice a shift within your mindset or your thoughts, your energy or your emotions, we can return to this visualization, whichever posture or asana we're in. We envision a light that represents compassion, love, positivity, gratitude, bathing the body, filling the body and overflowing into the space around you, radiating and pulsating until it becomes brighter and brighter, filling the room with light. If you prefer to work with words as opposed to visualization, feel free to choose a mantra instead that aligns you with the same intention. Inhale deeply here. And exhale whenever you're ready, but keep the eyes closed down and follow my voice as a guide. We're going to guide the arms up and overhead and then shine the fingertips to the wall behind you. Allow the arms to rest down onto the ground in a way that feels comfortable for your shoulders. With the arms reaching as far away from the toes as possible, envision that you are the rope in a tug of war being pulled from either end. Your feet shining towards the wall in front, fingertips shining towards the wall behind you. Allow yourself lovely deep breaths here. We gently guide the shoulder blades down towards the waist. Lift the mid-spine and press the pelvis in towards the ground. Envision there's a belt underneath your tummy gently being lifted up towards the sky above you. Keep the abdominal wall lovely and taut, as if it's guiding up and in towards the spine. Allow this lovely tummy stretch all the way from the base of the tummy up to the top of the ribs. Inhale and exhale, melt back down. As you melt down and connect the lower spine to the ground, we slowly draw the legs up and in towards your body, making sure that you move in a way that feels comfortable and safe for you. As you hug the legs in towards you, allow yourself to decide whether you feel more comfortable with the hands underneath the thighs. This is if you have any knee sensitivity or if you want a little bit less compression. Or alternatively, place the hands over the shins and guide them in. Allow the back to be even and straight, equal from both shoulder to hip. Inhale. And exhale, soften everything down. Allow the hips to soften, the knees to soften, and the legs to sink even deeper in towards your body. Allow the shoulders to soften and become heavy, the face and the jaw. Whenever you're ready, guide the knees slightly wide and allow yourself to gently transfer the hands to just in between the two legs, holding onto the ankle. As you hold the ankle from both legs, we allow the pressure of the arms to gently part the two legs. Inhale deeply here. Allow the back to be straight. And in this variation of Supta Baddha Konasana where we float the legs and allow the legs to gently part. We're thinking about stretching both the hip flexors and the backs of the thighs. So rather than just allowing the legs to fall as wide as they can, we guide the ankles slightly in towards you also. Inhale deeply here. And whenever you're ready, we're going to transfer into Happy Baby if you feel comfortable to. We take the index finger and the middle finger and hook the biggest toe. Gently guiding the soles of the feet up towards the sky, the knees into the armpits. And we inhale deeply here. Allow a deepening of your breath. And if this does not feel comfortable for you, allow yourself to return to the position from before our floating Supta Baddha Konasana. If you do feel comfortable here in Happy Baby, but you're more used to a dynamic, more flowing movement, then allow yourself to incorporate and introduce that movement where it feels right to do so. That might be straightening the legs, deepening the bend with enough care that you can support the backs of the knees, so we don't extend and lock the backs of the knees. We want to keep a soft bend always. It might be a gentle rock side to side. Being mindful here, especially if you find that Happy Baby is a posture that places more pressure on the mid-spine. We want an even distribution of weight all the way from the base of the spine to the top, and only then will we gently rock from side to side. Allow yourself to keep the shoulder blades down towards the waist. The shoulders themselves are away from the ears. And if you feel more happy in Happy Baby, then feel free to place your hands on the inner arches of the soles of the feet instead. Wherever you're feeling most comfortable, we're here for 3 deep, full breaths. Before we gently release the feet and we press the ceiling away, joining the big toes together. So if you feel more comfortable, you might grab a belt and hook it around the base of the feet. If you do feel more comfortable with this belt, then allow yourself to stay there. You can use any type of belt that you've got lying around the house. It could be a dressing gown belt, it could be a trouser belt, or a yoga belt, whatever you have to hand. If you feel comfortable leaving the legs here and just using the muscles of the legs to hold it up, then guide your arms down by your side and envision that you're pressing the ceiling away with the soles of the feet. Allow your breath to be just as deep and nourishing as when you started this practice, when we were in our meditation. Often when we start our yoga practice, we allow this lovely deep pranayama, and when we enter into the asana, it can be a little bit more difficult to keep up that lovely, deep, nourishing breath. But this is where it's the most valuable and the most effective. We get a lot more benefit from an asana if we spend maybe even less time with deeper breaths than it would be to spend more time with a deeper posture but shallow breath. Allow yourself 3 deep breaths here in Viparita Karani. We consider the sensation of energy transferring or leading in the opposite direction, taking that stagnant energy from the base of the toes, visualizing nourishing it with deep, deep, full breaths. Whenever you're ready, We're going to take quite a strong movement. We're taking the hands into steeple grip, where we interlace every finger apart from the index finger and thumb, which shine outwards and activate. We point the toes and hug the legs in towards us. And we're going to send the arms and the legs away from you until you rest back into your tug of war stretch. Allow yourself here in your tug of war stretch to think about guiding the body to be as long as you can while still staying comfortable within the shoulders, within the legs. Inhale deeply. And whenever you're ready, we step feet to the bottom left corner of your mat. We step the arms towards the top left corner of your mat. If you do have any shoulder issues or injuries, guide the arms wide instead and just shine the crown of the head towards the top left. Inhale here. Allow yourself to visualize breathing in through the right nostril. Exhaling away through the right nostril. Whenever you're ready, we gently guide all the way through to the other side of your mat. Feel free to pause in center beforehand if you'd like a little bit more of a gentle transition. And as you guide into your crescent moon, where you open up the yin side of your body, this is more traditionally known as your calmer side, your more emotional side, more related to coolness, darkness, and the moon. Visualize breathing in through the left nostril. Whenever you're ready, we gently step back through center. Allow your arms to guide nice and long, up and overhead. Your legs nice and long. We hug the left leg up in towards our body, leaving that right leg extended. Gently hold around the shin, or if you have any knee sensitivity, underneath the thigh. As you guide this leg in, allow yourself to observe sensations that you can feel within the tummy. If you do find there's any constriction of breath due to the compression of the leg drawing down, allow yourself to think about a gentle lift in the abdominals and utilizing the rest of your torso to deepen your breath and take these nice, full, nourishing breaths. When you're ready, we dorsiflex both feet. Ease that leg towards the top left side of the room. So we support the outer shin or underneath the thigh. The left elbow and tricep rests into the ground below you so that the full weight of that left leg can gently release, surrender, and be supported by that left arm. feels too intense, draw that left arm closer to you so that you can support the left leg a little bit taller with less range of motion through the left hip. Inhale and exhale, passing that leg gently into the other hand. Rest your left arm down by your side and allow yourself to gently roll until you stretch all the way through the gluteal and the outer thigh. That left leg can stay nice and tall. It doesn't have to melt all the way down to your right side. It can stay relatively tall so that your belly is nice and open when you're breathing. Your shoulder blades are both connected towards the ground. Inhale deeply. If your mind starts to wander, allow yourself to release any tension from the face first of all. Drop the tongue, deepen the breath, and then observe where the mind wandered to. Observe as if you're watching a stranger talking. The mind might be in a state of incessant chatter, or it might just be singular thoughts floating in. No matter what it is, whether it's a whole conversation or singular thoughts, possibly due to tension being released that we've held in our body, so the thoughts might feel quite random. Whatever it is, allow yourself to face the mind with compassion and gratitude. We thank the mind for doing its job before returning to the stillness and the silence of the present moment, where all we observe is the breath and the body relating and moving together. Whenever you're ready, we gently roll back through center, plant down the sole of the left foot, leaving the right leg extended long. Straighten the spine, we square off the hip so that each leg is aligned with the hip, each shoulder is aligned with the hip. We lift the right leg and interlace behind the back of the right thigh. Inhale deeply here. We gently flex the foot so the sole of your foot is shining towards the wall, the ceiling above you. We softly bend the back of the knee to ensure that we're isolating the calf and the hamstring by that lift and deepening by the constant dorsiflexion of the foot, but we don't want to place any strain or stress behind the knee. You can visualize a piece of string drawing that leg taller, deepening that leg in towards you as slowly as you can. Whenever you're ready, we gently bend that leg down into a 90-degree bend. We hook the ankle over the opposing leg's thigh and gently press your inner right thigh away from you. Inhale and exhale, guide both legs towards you. If this feels a little bit too much for today, send that left foot back to the ground and gently press your inner right thigh away. Whichever you choose, whether you do thread the needle through or whether you create that little space and distance, we want to ensure that the breath is deep, so we're not constricting the right side of the body with that right arm resting down. Instead, we stay light through the arms and deep within the breath. We also want to ensure that we keep that right foot nice and flexed, so the sole of your right foot is always shining towards the wall of your left. Whenever you're ready, sending that leg slowly down and guiding them out one by one, walking the legs away from you, guiding the arms up and overhead. Inhale deeply. Allow yourself 3 deep, nourishing breaths here where you visualize flooding each side of the body with the inhale, with the exhale. You can return to your visualization or your mantra from the start of the session, realigning you with your intention before entering into the same asanas on the other side of the body. So we guide the right leg up towards our body, hugging it gently in. We dorsiflex both the feet if you feel comfortable too. And slowly, slowly, allow that right leg to ease out towards the top right side of the room. Allow yourself 3 deep, nourishing breaths here where you allow a surrender through the inner thigh, through the inner hip flexor, and use your arm to support you. Whenever you're ready, we guide that leg into the opposing hand, and all the way over we melt towards the other side of the room. We keep the shoulder blades planted down. Keep a nice grounded base. We don't need to prioritize the depth of our twist, but instead we prioritize the depth of our breath. This allows the movement to be a lovely, gentle massage for the digestive system, where we use the depth of our breath to gently massage, the depth of our twist to gently massage, as opposed to going so deep that the muscles begin to become fatigued due to less deep breaths. We always stay within our comfortable range of motion here. Whenever you're ready, we gently roll back through center, plant down the right sole of the foot, lift your left leg all the way up towards the sky into Supta Padangusthasana. As this is translating to hand to big toe pose, you might feel more comfortable possibly transferring the hands up to an interlace behind the calf, or possibly even hooking the biggest toe. However, you want to ensure that your comfort is your priority here. So we're not moving outside of our range of comfortable or safe movement. The sensation of stretch and the sensation of pain are quite different when we guide our focus towards it. But often the mind will wander away from physical sensations that feel unfamiliar or not completely comfortable. So allow yourself to guide your full focus towards the sensations you feel within the hamstring, within the calf and the ankle, within the knee. We ideally want to feel a lovely sensation of stretch through the calf, through the hamstring, and a complete sense of ease through the back of the knee. So that might mean deepening the bend in the knee even further than you already have. It might mean dorsiflexing the foot even more so, and then visualizing a piece of string that draws your heel up and possibly a piece of string that draws your toes back. Allow yourself to prioritize the height of your leg over the depth of your leg, easing towards the wall behind you. Inhale deeply here. And when you're ready, we deepen that bend, hook the ankle over the opposing leg's thigh, and gently press your inner left thigh away. With the left foot dorsiflexed and the left knee gently falling away from you, you might guide both legs up towards you, or you might keep that distance, whatever you prefer. If you do interlace behind the back of the right thigh, allow yourself to ensure that you are light through the arms and not constricting the breath, not straining the neck. Allow yourself to become aware of any correlation between the sensation of stretch that you feel and the current breath that you're taking. Often the sensations will ebb and flow. The sensation of stretch might rise and fall alongside the rise and fall of your breath. Visualize that breath flooding into your body. Observe any dissipation of tension within the muscle. Observe how interconnected the body and the breath are. Whether you observe the sound of the breath within the ears, the movement of breath through your belly, the temperature of breath on your skin or in your chest, or whether you observe the correlation of the rise and fall of the intensity you feel within the muscle as your breath gently nourishes your body and releases away what you no longer need. If you find tension arising and your mind beginning to wander, allow yourself permission to not react, to not become attached or identify with the thoughts that float in and out. Instead, observe them as patterns, habitual loops. Return to your mantra or your visualization, and return to the stillness of the moment. Whenever you're ready, we hug both legs in towards the chest. We're going to take a few last breaths here in Viparita Karani, where we visualize lifting the heels, deepening the toes to the wall behind you, inhaling height, exhaling depth. And that depth can be either a deepening physically into your posture, into your asana, or it can be a deepening into the essence of the pose. We don't have to physically or visibly move to be drawing height and depth, utilizing the inhales and the exhales. You can simply have the intention of deepening. You can deepen into your focus of the present moment. You can deepen your breath. You can center your energy deepening into the essence of the pose. Whenever you're ready, we're going to gently come into a seated position, whether you choose to roll onto your right hand side and make your way up, or whether you choose to roll up the length of the spine. Either is absolutely fine. So we're just going to guide ourselves into Sukhasana first of all. If Sukhasana is not comfortable, cross legs, feel free to instead drop Dandasana, and you can make that transition at any point that you need throughout the next set of asanas. We're going to start lovely and tall, closing the eyes down. Allow yourself to first observe the stacking of the vertebrae. Observe where the head sits in relation to the shoulders. Observe the two sit bones grounding into the floor below you. Observe any tension being carried throughout the forehead. Whenever you're ready, inhale, roll the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. We take the slowest breath you feel comfortable to. Exhale, roll the shoulders gently back and down. Well done. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale to roll up. Exhale, back and down. Begin to move in a way that feels intuitive, completely present and responsive. If you observe that the shoulders would like to be gently stretched, then we hold the shoulders gently forwards, rounding them, and then opening the shoulders as you come back, allowing a gentle flexion and extension through the spine. If you notice that the central spine would like to be gently rotated, twisted, then allow a gentle alternating circle. One shoulder guides forwards and then back, the other guides back and then forwards. If you feel as though the arms would like to also be stretched, then we guide the arms into nice circles. You can move through the wrists, the elbows. Simply begin to move in a way that feels right for you. If you have one shoulder that has a lot more mobility than the other, then allow yourself to honor that, move in a way that feels correct for both shoulders rather than just one. If you like to move the arms low, move the arms tall, wherever you feel most comfortable. And most of all, we focus on honoring the breath. If your breath has a pause, then we pause. If your breath has a hold or a retention, then we hold. Allow yourself 3 more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, we release the arms, but we send them nice and tall. Activate the fingers. Inhale. Envision a lift in your pelvic floor, in your core, leading all the way up through the crown, through the fingertips, creating this lovely energy that almost balances you out with the gravity that surrounds you. Inhale deeply. Exhale, send one arm to the floor and one arm reaches up and over. Inhale, center. Exhale all the way through, gently, gently to the other side. Good, lovely. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Allow yourself to move at your own pace of breath. We can think about the shoulders being a frame for the head. This allows us to stop any hanging into the shoulder. We don't crane up or crane down or hang down. We stay nice and centered with the neck. It also allows you to avoid rotating the neck. We want to stay lovely, forward facing and tall. Allow yourself to use the abdominals and use the breath to take you back to center. So there's no pressing down through that base hand. Well done. Inhale. Exhale, side. Inhale, center. Last breath here before we draw both the arms down by your side. Lovely. So this next movement can be done with the legs still in Sukhasana. It's a twist. So you could have your legs here and coming into a twist like so. Or if you prefer, you could draw the legs out in front. And this way you get a slight gluteal stretch as well. So what we would do is draw the left leg up and over. Draw the right arm around and take this left arm gently behind you. So whichever twist you prefer, allow yourself to find that lovely tall spine and gently send your drishti, if you have that mobility in the neck, over your back shoulder. Wherever you are, allow yourself to relax down the forehead, relax down the jaw, allow yourself to keep that right foot dorsiflexed and that left sole of the foot fully connected to the ground. The mind is quite likely to wander here due to the stretching of the thigh and the gluteals, which are traditionally muscles known to hold a lot of tension, hold a lot of emotion and memories. Allow yourself permission to observe where the mind has wandered to and utilize your mantra. Utilize your visualization to realign you with your purpose, with your intention, whether that be to face your body with ahimsa, to treat your mind with gratitude and compassion, to shower yourself in unconditional love, whatever it may be. We're doing that for the next 3 breaths here in this lovely twist. We also ensure we take deep abdominal breaths. It can be quite easy to shorten the breath and therefore allow the mind to wander in a twist. So we just want to ensure that we are consciously deepening our breath. Whenever you're ready, we gently come back through center, and we're going to take this leg that's gently pressed over, and we're going to hook a little bit deeper. So we allow the knife edge of the foot to press to the ground, the sole of that foot to shine backwards. So you might choose to stay here and frame your front leg, or you might choose to hook that base leg underneath the top leg. So just whatever you feel more comfortable. Allow yourself to avoid taking a position just because you think of the aesthetic or anything like that. We think about closing down the eyes and thinking about how it feels. Allow yourself permission to move whenever you need. We frame the front leg or the two knees wherever we are. And we exhale, walk the hands slowly forwards. Allow a softening of the shoulders, of the spine. Allow a surrender of the legs as you melt forwards. If your mind starts to wander here, allow yourself permission to not react to wherever the mind has wandered, to not enter into secondary conversation or attach secondary emotion. We simply return to the present. Observe the sensation of the body and the breath together, rising and falling. Observe the ebb and the flow of the intensity you feel, whether that be in the hip, in the back, in the base leg. We're here for 3 deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, we slowly peel up and we send that leg out nice and long. So if you did feel more comfortable in a Sukhasana twist, feel free to take a Sukhasana twist. If not, we are going to guide the right leg up and over, pressing the 4 corners of that right foot down, dorsiflexing the left foot, and we're coming back into our closed twist where we wrap the left arm around this time and we plant the right arm behind us. Inhale here. Allow yourself to think about opening that back shoulder, sending your drishti over your back shoulder. Lovely. If you do want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can place that forearm across the width of your lower back. Lovely. Relax down the forehead, the jaw and tongue. We're here for 5 more breaths. Allow them to be the deepest, most nourishing breaths to allow you to make the most of your time here in this twist. Whenever you're ready, we slowly come to face forwards. We take that leg and we gently guide it over the base leg. With the knife edge of that foot pressed down, the sole of that foot shining backwards, we allow ourselves to come nice and tall. Decide whether you feel more comfortable shining that base leg back or forwards, or whether you would like to stay here. Wherever you are, we frame the front leg or the 2 knees stacked, and we exhale, walk the hands forwards. Allow yourself, wherever you are, to relax down the tongue, the jaw and the forehead. Allow a complete relaxation forwards and down of the shoulders, the heart space and the back. If your mind starts to wander, return to your visualization, your mantra. Realign with your intention from what you want to gather from today's practice, whether that be peace and quiet, quality time with yourself, connecting to the higher self, the one that observes the mind, as opposed to connecting to the mind as we do in everyday life. Whether it be to face your whole self with compassion or love, whether it be to forgive every part of yourself from your head all the way down to your toes. Whenever you're ready, we make our way nice and tall, slowly, and we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So we slowly melt all the way forwards, being mindful of your transition here. And once you're ready, finding tabletop. So in our tabletop, we want to think about stacking the knees underneath your hips, the wrists underneath your shoulders, and sending the spine to be nice and long. So this will mean tucking the tailbone very slightly so that it shines towards the wall behind you. Often people will shine it very slightly up in a tabletop due to a hanging of the lower back. So we want the tailbone to shine back, the abs and the pelvic floor to lift up, the ribs to tuck up and the shoulder blades to guide down. Inhale deeply, back of the neck is lovely and long, and we're coming into Vidyalasana, where we exhale, tuck the tailbone down, roll slowly up into cat. Inhale, shine the tailbone up towards the sky and roll through into cow. Exhale, tuck your tailbone through to cat. Inhale, roll through into cow. Allow yourself to move as slowly as you can through Vidyalasana, through cat and cow.